Hello everyone on YouTube. It's been a while. Sorry I haven't posted in quite a bit. I'm recording on my phone, even though I did get a new laptop. It's a BMAX laptop. And it used to run, I had it running Windows 11. I switched over to Linux Mint. But I guess that's not even really the important thing. The important thing is where I got it from. Prepare to cringe, or prepare to be curious, whatever. I bought it off of temu. And some of you may ask, why? Simply put, I'm not made of money. Well, I got it thinking I can run Linux on it, and as someone who uses Linux frequently at this point, Linux typically runs smoothly, like real smooth, like smooth as butter, to the point where I just don't even use Windows anymore. But on that specific machine that I just showed you, on this machine I have bought off of temu, I tried running Linux on it, and there's some stuttering. This machine has some stuttering when running some software, like Linux, a free operating system, which people might say, well, you get what you pay for. Well, people, if you've never used Linux before, I've already stated how smoothly it runs, okay? Well, that's simply put the truth. Linux runs very smoothly. That specific machine. I know I'm rambling, but there's always going to be someone who's like, oh, you get what you pay for. It's like, that's when I got to preemptively reiterate what I've already said. As annoying as that is, clearly. So, I was using Linux, and I was running OBS on it. Now, I don't know every setting on OBS yet. I'm very new to it, to the point of having yet to have recorded anything. And Linux does not come with a video record proprietary feature built in like my phone has, which I'm hoping will be fixed in the next update or so, because they seem to be going updating at a good pace, to the point of even being able to game on their system, on the Linux platforms, and code on it. It's really only a matter of time. And I'm hoping that time will be very soon. Well, I have a stuttering issue. Not like a speech impediment, but my machine has a stuttering issue. And it has a weird mirroring effect or something. So like, when I'm doing something on the preview pane of OBS, it will be like, it'll be laggy. So for example, here's me moving. This is my right hand, by the way, and my left hand is going to be the preview. Or it'll be more like this. Okay, I don't know why I shook this hand. This hand's supposed to be. But basically, the image will just jerk around when I'm just moving, as one would move in the real world. So, like, right now, I'm looking into the camera, and my phone screen's, like, right here. And every movement I make is mirrored as if I'm staring at a mirror right now. OBS if it has a feature like that, I don't know where to access it and use it, and then I don't know how to make it less stuttery. But I have a feeling it's a different problem altogether, just because the whole system slows down after it's used for a period of time, which, for what I paid for it, it shouldn't. Next time I get a laptop, I'm getting it from Walmart or from Best Buy or from Newegg. Basically, whoever's got the best deal for the price. I'm not making a lot. Now, in other news about myself, I tomorrow am going to go voting. But here's what's interesting. I live in the state of Iowa, and for those of you outside the U.S., I live out in the United States of America. I don't know how big my non-U.S. audience is, but if you are from outside of the U.S., say hi from, and I'll be happy to hear from y'all. Now, we get a letter with our name and everything, and I'm going to read, we get this letter. It tells us where we're supposed to be headed. Official notice of bond election. Jasper County Public Measure Letter A. Voters of Jasper County, the following public measure will be submitted at 11/5/2024. General election. Shall Jasper County, State of Iowa, issue its general obligation bonds or capital loan notes in the amount not exceeding the amount of $6,400? Wow, that's a large number. I'm going to say that because it's a comma, there's 6,400. It's a 7-digit number, so I'm going to assume $1 million? I don't know. For the purpose of designing, constructing, equipping, furnishing, and making land site improvements for secondary roads maintenance building. And that ends in a question mark. And then it says polling hours are from 7 a.m. through 8 p.m. And this is for when I go to vote. So, sorry. It's weird. I'm holding it weird. There. You notice where I'm supposed to be headed to vote? Your polling location, Emmanuel Baptist Church. To vote. Of all the places to go to vote for the president, for Congress, for mayor, judges, whatever, sheriff. Well, I have to essentially vote in a church because that's what I'm given now. So I will be going to church for the only one reason worth going to a church for: voting. There's really like a handful of reasons to go to church, and none of them involve going to hear the gospel. Going to vote, in my case, meeting other people who are just kind of along for the ride at church. So, I'm in my 30s still. I know I don't look it. Receding hairline just screams 30s, right? Well, that depends. I mean, some people look much better than me in their 30s. I actually know of a few. Let's see. I apologize for the pauses. I will not be able to edit them out because, one, I don't know how to connect this video from my phone to my computer to use one of the editing softwares that are free and actually useful to use. I'll just tell you who I'm going to be voting for because they stand by values similar to my own. Not to say I share, like, I'm politically speaking, I wouldn't call myself like a full leftist, but I do lean there. Like, for example, I don't feel the way Kyle Kalinske feels about the war in Gaza. Like, I'll view it as, at most, I view it as a waste of time. We don't need to be supplying Israel with weapons. We don't need to be supplying them with ammo. We don't need to be doing any of that. That being said, I'm not going to call for a ceasefire. But I just certainly wouldn't give them anything. I just would kind of watch as I just cut off resources and just watch what happens. Kind of like how people watch those battles on Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator. Same kind of attitude, but applied to the real world. I think the war's a waste of time, but, you know, they got their Bible telling them to fight over the land because according to, I'm going to say David or Moses? Yeah, Moses. Let's go with Moses. They were, and Joshua, God's like, milk and honey that way. And that's how we got a genocide in Gaza. Am I misinformed? Let's assume so. Let's just assume I'm misinformed. And if so, you have the comment section below. And unlike so many Christian channels, I'm not going to stop you from commenting. I am not like Kent Hovind in that regard. And I am not like, well, many other Christian channels who turn off their comments because they can't handle curse words, apparently. Look, just because I don't agree with criticism doesn't mean I won't at least let it appear on my channel, because I'm not like Republicans are snowflakes. Let's just say Republicans are snowflakes. They didn't used to be. I remember just a decade ago when I was in my 20s, they had thicker skin. Now they have the thinnest, paperiest skin possible. You want to know how thick Republican skin is? About that thick. On a good day. This is like construction paper, mind you. It's actually, for Republicans, it's usually thinner than that. Here are some people, if you live in Iowa, like I do, here are some people I think you should vote for. Is this a deflection? Is this a deflection from my previous earlier points? Perhaps. But as deflections go, I like to think it's informative. This lady, who I'm going to be voting for as well, Christina Bohannon, understands the values that make Iowa special. And here's some of her policy platform. More technical and vocational training for high-skill, high-wage jobs in Iowa. Okay, I wish you would say a couple words about low-skill but necessary jobs in Iowa, like mine, which mine is effectively one of those low-level jobs that if no one was doing it, people would have to be sent out to do that job. So anything from janitorial to, well, if you're working in retail, perhaps just putting the carts back in to your retail store. Be it Hy-Vee, be it Target, be it Lowe's, any one of those things. They all, I think, need a cart pusher. Be it Best Buy. Somebody's got to put those carts back in. And of course, there are those people who have the dubious fortune of working at Walmart. Because some of these stores get it in their head that they're some prestigious place and then they treat the workers extra rough, while other stores are so cheap that they're shit. Yeah, so the more technical and vocational training for high skill, high wage jobs in Iowa. Lower costs, lower inflation, and better economy. That wins me over. Better investment in our kids, our schools, and our education. And a woman's right to safe and legal abortion. Christina Bohannon, people. While there are some things I have some issues with, I'd say she is closer to what I want than not. And then there's this guy who's honestly, he is a Democrat with the most right-wing name I've ever heard. His name is Brad Mag. It just sounds right-wing to me. Doesn't mean he is. I mean, his platform's actually pretty good. As a lifelong Jasper County resident, Brad understands through experience small business opportunities and challenges in small town Iowa. Started his first small business in Jasper County at age 14. So, he would feel, obviously, some connection to small business. Local government operations. Elected and has been serving on the Colfax City Council since 2009. Well, I live near Des Moines. Colfax is even closer to Des Moines. Rural healthcare. Currently working to save Jasper County's only locally owned pharmacy and expand medical care for all. So, it's not exactly Medicare for all, but it's the best he can do. I'll be reading about his opponent in a bit. Brad Mag supports restoring public education and AEAs with sufficient funding. I have no idea what the fuck AEA means. I look forward to the explanation below. Thank you. Parental choice for reading material. Kind of vague. I'm assuming it's a good thing. Empowering Iowans to make their own medical decisions. Well, someone's got to empower us. Policies that help small town Iowa thrive. Sounds good, sounds vague. I would like it to be less vague, but here's John Dunwall, his opponent. Have fun with this one. Cut funding and restructure of AEAs, SF-578. I'm assuming that that's a document. Send our public money to private schools with no oversight. HF-68, SF-578. I'm going to assume all of these are numbers of documents. I have no reason to actually assume that that is correct. I have no confidence that I am right. A 6-week abortion ban. John Dunwall voted for a 6-week abortion ban. And it's HF-732, H-1375, H-1371, H-1370. I just stopped skipping. I just stopped saying comma after a certain point. That was more for like a caption thing. I guess it's not even worth doing, really. And the last thing Josh Dunwall is listed as doing on this thing, which should affect how we vote, refuse funds from federal government that would have funded meals for over the summer for 240,000 low-income children. So John Dunwall of Newton, Iowa, or not Newton, although I do live somewhere in Newton, but just of Iowa, apparently, somewhere in Iowa, John Dunwall does not care about feeding children. He doesn't care about women, and he's just overall shit. And that's the opponent of Brad Mag. Brad Mag, who I'm going to assume wants to feed kids. Why he didn't state that on his platform is a mystery to me. I'm just going to assume that that is on the agenda. Is it wise to assume that without it being written down? Oh, no, it's not. It's not wise at all to assume that. But I'm going to, because, I mean, why not? I'm also going to be voting for Lanon Bakam. What I don't know, like, is, I know Brad Mag is for the Iowa House. I'm going to have to look up what, let's see, looking for a name, Christina Bohannon's job, what position she's trying to, oh, Congress, okay. Christina Bohannon's trying to be a congresswoman of Iowa. Why Cal Kalinske and Mike Figueroa and David Packman and anyone from Canada hasn't made like a 2-minute video about her, or just maybe a 5-minute video about Iowa elections, just for 5 minutes, is a mystery to me. I mean, I get that we're a flyover country, but we're also where the corn comes from. The corn that goes in corn syrup. The corn syrup that goes into juices and apparently candy bars, because someone decided, yeah, we need that. We're the place that makes ethanol. And we're the place that produces a few substances that are less than legal. I don't get it. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of the nation. The upper middle, specifically. The northern middle. Not south. We're north of everything. Oh, and Lanon Bakam's direct rival is Zach Nunn. Deep voice man wearing his pilot suit, who's wearing a fast food cap from the 50s. He was in the Air Force to do Air Force stuff. He fought against women's rights. And he won. Or at least he thinks he did. He's fighting the progressive agenda. I don't know why he's had to advertise it like this, but actually this is somewhat his voice, in fact, so it's not even really an advertisement. Zach Nunn. That guy who, if you watch his commercials or his ads, you'll notice a distinct lack of anyone who is non-white in his ads. Is that, like, intentional or coincidental? I don't know. Someone needs to find out. Lanon Bakam, Asian, American, and most importantly, Iowan. He can actually fix his own goddamn truck. Can Zach Nunn do that? I don't know. Has Zach Nunn ever built anything? Or does he hold up tools making weirdly sexual gestures at them? If you've seen a Zach Nunn ad on YouTube, he does this thing where he's like talking to another guy and he's doing this gesture at a tool, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm assuming it's a power tool, and I'm assuming because it's an auto shop, he feels he needs to masturbate the tools. I hear that makes the car parts look... Okay, I can't say that with a straight face. Zach Nunn's so ridiculous that I can't even say that with a straight face. Have you seen... Okay, if you haven't seen his ads, I've been getting ads from, like, all over. Well, but only for, like, a few people, because apparently targeted ads don't want to mention other people. I just, like... Don't vote for Zach Nunn, okay? He wants no abortions, no exceptions. Apparently, when asked, he rose his hand, along with 2 other people who I don't care about. He's like, no exceptions. To be clear. Okay, now I don't even look like Zach Nunn. He was more awkward about it. Now I'm just looking like some actor from the 1970s who was on the movie Future World. An underrated 70s movie, by the way. I was waiting for HBO's Westworld to go in that direction and just switch from Westworld to the in-between and then Future World. And then there'd be like a transitional mini-series in the middle. Kind of like what they're doing with Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. But so far, that's not where that went. Now, I know that I sporadically upload, and it's been like forever. And I probably should make that the next I Used to Be a Christian video, and I said I would do it, and I'm going to. It's just, a lot's been going on. My workplace has been renovated, and quite frankly, it looks good. It's about time that they renovated. There was a lot of cement that was all like... If I spent time talking about just sidewalks and things that were like needing maintenance, that were cracked, that were trip hazards, that were shit to walk on, that's a whole other video. And then I have to edit in other footage, and it would just be a while. So, I guess I'm going to end it here. It's got to end at some point, and it's getting to almost 30 minutes. So, if there's anything else you want me to talk about, bring it in the comments below. I know that I have some opinions regarding Gaza that some may find objectionable, but like, you actually have to care about people to find them objectionable. And to the extent I care about people, I am very selective. When it comes to foreign policy, I'm kind of conservative, sort of. Like, when it comes to war, I'm right-wing. When it comes to the border, I'm left-wing. To the point of wanting just to straight up open up our border altogether and then declare Mexico and America as one thing because they destroyed the cell wall in between. That's my position. I mean, let the Mexicans in. I'm an expansionist. And the thing about expansion is you don't want your lines growing thin. Okay? And if you naturalize all the people who want to come in here and then provide them with housing and make it where we've done more for them than the people they're running from have, that could shift their loyalties. I mean, think about it. These people have fallen into Trump's Trap. Yeah. We're calling what Trump laid a trap. Because, I mean, I would say it is, but that would imply he knows what he's doing. I can't even compare Trump to Kevin McAllister here. Trump's... How... To you people who are from Mexico, or black, or just non-white, who thought, yeah, Trump, let's vote that way. Why do you hate yourselves? Why do you hate everyone around you? Why do you hate the LGBTQ kid somewhere in your general neighborhood who's just fabulous? Like, come on. He's not hurting anyone. Why do you hate yourself? Why do you hate the man or woman in the mirror so much that you're voting for Trump? You're voting for a guy who only just now has a semblance of a plan. I'm not that smart. I have a high school diploma. I think I lost that high school diploma. I'm still smarter than Trump, but Trump did set the bar kind of low. And the more I learn about my own nation, the more I ask the people coming here from Mexico, why do you hate yourselves? We don't have proper health care here. Like, do you even want to know how much you have to pay for a doctor to make a decision? Yeah, not for treatment, for the doctor to go through decision making. That alone is something they charge money for. Tell me why you hate yourself this much. I'm assuming you're moving through America to go to Canada because I can't really justify why you're coming here. Otherwise, why not go to South America? At least there they probably have hospitals that, will actually treat you. And actually give you medicine, I assume. And, if you are moving from Mexico north, there are some places you might want to get out of Texas, like now. You might want to move out of Alabama or any other state that Mexico is connected to, because it's kind of a big exit point to America. If you can go to California, just go to California. If you can go to New York and just go right past Florida and just go past Louisiana. Okay, maybe you can hang out in Louisiana because Louisiana isn't... As southern states go, Louisiana is the progressive side of the South. I'm assuming. I mean, they practice voodoo. They love crawfish. They have an amazing accent. And you might as well just, I don't know, put down some roots in Louisiana. And see what Neil Gaiman does with Mexican gods and voodoo gods sharing the same city block. If anyone is a fan of Neil Gaiman, the second, your cultures meet over there and he actually becomes aware of that demographic, it's going to be an interesting book is all I'm saying. I'm looking forward to that. I have no reason to expect it, but you remember like 4 or 5 minutes ago when I said I'm going to end it there? Well, I was wrong. I've been yammering on about irrelevant bullshit. If my irrelevant bullshit has interested you in any way, please bring it up in the comments below. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. I am not a paid channel. I don't even really have an established Patreon yet. Okay, I do technically have a Patreon, but I haven't got everything all set up. I have social media. I'm gfish17 on Twitter. So you can contact me there. It's been fun. Nice to see you all. And have a lovely October. Happy Halloween.